Well, again, I'm afraid we're running a bit late. Come and sit down, Bruno. But I just want to get a few quick questions in about construction technology, which is the theme of the session. And Bruno, you said that you were reusing 60 or 70% of the construction on the site. Is that right?
We maintained about it was about 65% of the structure was all maintained,
but
of all the buildings.
97% of existing buildings don't meet reduction targets. So what did you have to do in construction technology terms to reuse this 65% of existing?
So things like, for example, primary elements that were ripped out, a lot of the organ beams and stuff were actually remachined back into ceiling panels. So the law building has all the timber ceiling, all taken out of the primary elements that were already there. Some of the brickwork was put back into some of the landscape, crushed and reused back into some of the formwork.
And you were also doing some, pure innovation, like the hempcrete. You were fire testing it.
Yeah.
What actually is hempcrete? Sorry.
Hempcrete was something I knew nothing about, and I now know a little bit about.
Can you smoke it?
It's hemp herd is the product. Into Australia, there's only about there's a bit of a mafia situation going on that it's not readily available anywhere, and it's only a few suppliers stock it. And to do it at this scale, you have to be in touch with them way in advance for them to actually start producing it to then supply it for projects like this.
And it's a panel.
No, it's like imagine building. It's like building, using concrete. But what you're doing is you're using the hemp herd mixed with a variety of different elements that then make it set. Yeah. And once it sets, it looks like that image that I showed you. So it's quite warm. It's beautiful. Yeah. It's got great acoustic elements as well. Sure. And it's completely biodegradable.
Yeah. So it's a material of the future.
It's a material of the future, I think, but I think it needs to be commercialised, and that's the bit that it's playing catch up. Yeah. And we've managed to, I think, through this project, the client has spent all the money to do all the fire testing, get the standards, get all of that up, so it can now be readily used on any project at this scale.
A question for Tala and Ganlan. You've got an extraordinary structure, and I know it's based on the traditional configuration of Iranian villages in the north, as you explained, but they've got a natural slope. You've got to create an artificial slope. So how do you do that in construction technology terms?
Okay. Actually, we have been through a lot of struggles and arguments with the structural engineer about making that possible, because we needed slopes, because slopes could be habitable and provided a lot of movement into the environment. Roofs could be habitable, walkable. So that was the sort of thing we really needed to apply to the project. So coming to the structure, the structural engineer needed a lot of extra components on the facade that we really didn't want them to, because up in the north of Iran, what is really important is the openness of spaces, because they live in a society that, in the natural geography, that everything is so open. And we needed movement to be a part of this living experience. So we needed the spaces to be open. That's why we made him just stick to the central core. Right. So, and one thing that is friendly in the north is dealing with concrete, because structure of steel structure in the north, iron is rust a lot in the north of Iran. So they more use concrete to make their houses. They are experts. Yeah. So we thought of a central core that all the cantilevered slopes are bonded into the structure. And of course, with the columns that are in the whole space, but you cannot see them because they are inside these houses. And one more thing that is hidden from the structure is the braces and trusses that hang the slopes upward from the central core um, want to say something? And it doesn't let it to get this momentum, controls the momentum. So it was really hard to do that, but we kept on sticking into the central core and the cantilever terraces.
Okay. All
right. Actually, we need to establish a hang foundation on this core to establish these 4 neighborhoods separated from each other but connected with the slopes. So you could tell that they are hang foundation. And totally we calculated with our engineering structures and that was our answer to this question.
Yeah, good, thank you. And Mohammed, you're using what is quite established technology of prefabrication, but what are you doing? Is there any innovation in what you're doing, or is it just a clever use of what we already know how to do?
Actually, for designing these micro homes, we wanted to make it more adaptable with different locations and sites. So we came up with putting hydraulic jacks in front of for each micro homes in order to make these houses easier for disassembling, relocating to other campus in order to provide for more humanitarian supports. So honestly, these hydraulic jacks is equipped with a steel post and they are hanged to the ground. So when it comes to relocating to other sites, we need to only disassemble and remove these buildings to other spaces. Moreover, we came up with using LEC material, I mean low embodied carbon materials from Kingspan in order to reduce the environmental impact around 18%. It was our somehow creativity for this refugee campus.
Oh. And there seems to be something of caravans or mobile homes in the way you use space for more than one purpose, because 25 square meters, it's quite small, very small.
Yeah, honestly, in order to maximize the vertical space, we came up with hydroponic openable green walls. So these openable hydroponic green walls can somehow maximize the vertical space because the interior is only 25 square meters. So we wanted to also maximize natural light, ventilation, and also increasing the space with these openable hydroponic green walls. And moreover, providing a space for agricultural activities in Netherlands is one of the necessary activities in this country. So one of the way that we wanted to help to refugee to integrate socially and somehow economically with local Dutch people was these approaches.
Well, thank you very much. I'm afraid we've run out of time, but I do need to present you with your awards. So if we've got them